friends. I think this is working. Welcome back to another behind the scenes Northern Skies. Just checking something over here. Episode 2. Let's just see if this is working. I should get nice feedback here. Yay! Hello, friend. It's working. Great. Cool. Welcome back. Thanks for those who listened, tuned in for last week's episode, or I think it was 11 days ago. So a lot has happened since then. I had a gig and I got sick and I pushed through the gig and it kind of threw me. So I was kind of up and down for a couple of days there. And then, to be honest with you, this has been a real struggle to, share the journey. I think, to be vulnerable and kind of share what's happening in the studio space is, it's hard. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And I think I like the idea of doing this live stream thing because I don't have to edit a video later, which is kind of another roadblock. But I'm going to show you what I've been up to. Before I do that, I've got this little, if you want to leave a tip, you can leave a tip there. That's just encouraging, a little way you can kind of help and support. So I'll show you what we've got going on over here. The last time we were here, we took a look at this session and there's mics over here. We had some, I think I can do that. We tracked some bass, so I comped the bass, and it sounded like this. I really like what happened there. And then last time you were here, the drums sounded quite different. So I'm going to pull this up here, and I'm going to show you what they used to sound like. And I've done a little bit of pre-mixing here to make it sound awesome, is the idea. Now if I do that, yes. Just to kind of help. I like to mix as I go. It's kind of a nice little way to get a feel for where the song's going. And so what happened was I edited the bass last week and did this with the drums. So the drums just like this were. And then I add some little special sauce. And without. So we got some, Matt Musty's just slaying it there. So I've just amped up a bunch of the kick and done some EQ stuff. Oh, look at that. There's a fake tape machine and our trusty SSL doing some EQ stuff. So I'm just shaping the sounds to really make them, the kick nice and punchy. The snare's got this real nice crack to it. And just kind of brightening things up and warming things up. So that's where that's sounding, and that's just sounding good. But so I had this and I was feeling inspired, and then I got my acoustic guitar tracked, which was great. I wanted to involve you guys in that, but it was just so hard. But I got it done. It was a late night thing, and feeling really good, but I was just stuck of where I needed kind of the choruses to go and have this lift, and so I was kind of messing around with some stuff. I need to clean it up a little bit, but I got gifted since I last saw you. This is pretty cool. I got gifted this old synthesizer, which is really cool. It's an old Roland XP80. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's a blessing, and it's got some awesome 90s sounds in there. So I put some synth stuff in here just to kind of fill it out a little bit. Let me show you like this. So I've got this little pad going, and I added this piano. And in context, here we go. Now it's starting to fill out a little more. You can hear that synthesizer is really quite subtle in the background, and yeah, it's just kind of the lift that the chorus is needed. And then I added this organ, which I'm shameless, and I did a MIDI organ, but you know what? Hey, it allowed me to move some stuff around, clean up the notes. Whoop, I don't want to do that. And so I add that in, and it lives a bit more. That's that there. And so, yeah, that's where it's at. But I added a guitar. It's going to be really subtle, but I wanted to redo that because it was a bit messy. So I'm going to invite you guys in on that tonight. So I've got my guitar here. I'm using the HX Stomp, and I'm using this Clarity preset. So I've got a nice, what is that? It's like a chorus. I usually hate these kind of sounds, but in context, it works. Think Andy Summers, The Police, the 80s. So I thought I'd invite you into this tonight. Oh, let me just check one thing down here and see if I can find. I am missing one thing to see if I can find something. But yeah, I thought I'd show you guys this. Sorry, I've lost something here on my screens. I can't find it. Interesting. Maybe it's here. Here we go. Is that what I wanted? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so. No, let's try one more thing. Just trying to see if there's a chat window for YouTube. Cool. Yeah. If anyone's out there watching right now, leave a comment. So yes, there we go. Cool. So yeah, I thought I would show you just this electric guitar part. We're going to go through, just put it in the choruses, and it'll sound a little bit louder now. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit, and then yeah, this is going to be kind of buried in there, and then we'll see how we're going for time, and then maybe I'll set up some acoustic guitar for another song. We'll see how we go. But let's do this. So I'm going to make sure I'm recording over here in my... And I've already tuned the guitar because this is really crucial. But here we go. Second verse, no, verse 3 is going to be fun. So yeah, just a little thing of, at the moment I've got the guitar on the the second position, fifth position, I don't know. Anyway, verses that sound. It kind of gets maybe buried a little more. That sound works for here, and then in context, let's see. So really subtle. So you want it to be, well, I want it to be one of those things that if you solo, you can hear. And then when you bring it back in context, you can hear because you kind of know what you're meant to be listening for. But that is kind of, if you didn't know, that it would be kind of very, very, very subtle. So let's do chorus 2, and then we're going to do a fun thing for chorus 3. And yeah. So this is kind of like, I worked out these parts the other night, which is kind of handy. We can just kind of race through tonight. Now with this chorus, these chorus sections, I don't have, I'm tempted to put in all these other like fancy, maybe like a, another kind of ear candy part, but I'm going to refrain because I'm probably going to get too busy and I want to leave some space for the vocal. I haven't done the main vocal yet, so I need to do the main vocal. And then once I've got the main vocal and probably some oohs and some ahs, then I'll work on getting kind of a motif or a lick for the choruses, which I think that would kind of be like the last piece that I add that I would like to have to kind of just bring it to life a little bit. So let's see. Oh, and I think I did put something else in here, another synth. So we'll just mute that for now because it might be a bit distracting. And let's do the last chorus. And the last chorus, I got to do these anticipations, like the. So I did this. Let's see how I'm going to do it. See if I can do it cleanly. Try one more of those, and I might add a little bit more flavor. Here we go. Forgot it. Let's try it again. started ring out. There's the sound of lovely a dishwasher being loaded in the background. Thank you, Carla. Thank you. Yeah, cool. So that one I just added a little bit more variation to the part. Not too much. Don't go too crazy. Just a little something to bring variation to that. So we are going to stop there with that one. And I might just quickly head over to... well, I did find something kind of cool about this song. I'll show you. Now, last time I was with you, I told you that the song hadn't varied too much from the first writing. But I found some files that gave me some hints. So, I have one here for... Oh, it's not here. It's over here. Let's see. This one here. Here we go. So I found a piece of paper, which I don't know if I showed you guys last time, but I found... Oh, there we go. Look at this. Oh, let's do this. I found a piece of paper which has some lyrics on it. And that there says April 28th, 2019. So, and this has like, feel like a new man, young man, taking a strong stand. Won't let lies be what my heart believes. So I live in the light. Feels like a new year. So there's kind of the second verse there. And then I had another one, which kind of has, this is from May 1st, which has a bit more structure to it. Come on, phone, you can focus. Don't see my face. There we go. So we kind of got a bit more structure. I've got some things circled there, trying some different ideas over here. But I wasn't convinced that that was where the song started. So I went into my notes and I looked at 2019, May and April, and I actually found, if I go over here to my notes app, yes. I looked up, so I went through just my regular notes app or my voice memos, and I went to April, so I was just searching like this just with the dates, because you'll see sometimes I've got recording 12, new recording 293, new recording 292, The River, PC, remarkable. And then, so I went to April of 2019 and I scrolled all the way down and I found some actually they weren't untitled. They were titled something else. They were called YY01. So this is tune. So I feel like the why that kind of sound was what I locked into. I was like, ooh, this is kind of interesting. Structure. I want to tune again. You can hear there's a little bit of the structure. And this is on, so that was the 2nd of March 2019. So I think that's when the song was kind of born. April 27th. Feels like a young man, strong stand, so I've got the lyrics here, which I settled on, but the melody is obviously completely different. So I've got that part there, which is kind of cool. So you can kind of hear the song starting to form. I can hear, I'm like, oh, that's an idea that I liked, and I wanted to kind of. I think it's the end of this one. I need to love, I can be loved because I'm loved from far above. Now it's time for you to just be like me. Nope. Well, that was a completely different idea. So I'm just kind of going through, you know, and I've got different ideas here. Can you see something's showing? See how decide, coming to come and feel. It's a perfect love. So I'm kind of catching up. It's so perfect love. Yeah, so I'm glad it ended up where it did. But yeah, it's kind of a cool little. But I discovered, yes, I did some detective work, and the song was indeed started, much earlier. So yeah, March 2nd, 2019 is, I believe, when this song kind of began to come to life. I was born, and then over the course of, like, in this notes app for recording voice memo, from 2nd of March to kind of February 2021, I would say more kind of like, no, that's a different idea. November. So kind of like March to November, I think this was kind of being formed. And then I did show you that video of me performing the song. So I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, the song was born a lot less formed. And began to kind of take shape. Another thing that was super annoying about the last week is I have my Blue Ridge acoustic here. And you'll notice it sounds beautiful. It always sounds beautiful. But for the sake of recording, I wanted to put some new strings on it. Because I thought that would be a good... Well, I thought about borrowing someone else's guitar, and putting fresh strings on that so it would be nice and bright, because I had some super old strings on here, maybe 6-7 years, which were really cool for recording kind of intimate, warm stuff, but the bright stuff that I needed to do specifically for Perfect Love, it just wasn't going to work. And I thought, I'll get new strings. So I put new strings on it. But this guitar, the last time it was set up was with strings that were a bit heavier. And so all of a sudden I couldn't play my guitar because it was buzzing and it was terrible. And I was so frustrated and so annoyed. And I was like, why? So I made a temporary shim and put a bunch of plastic in here. I cut up a plastic folder and had to raise this. My guitar tech friends will be horrified, but it did the job, and I didn't have the patience, the funds to go and do the proper thing. But it's working in the meantime. Shout out to Mr. Ryan Gleason in Los Angeles, guitar tech extraordinaire, would be horrified about that. But I got it. I had to redo the strings several times. It was so annoying. Anyway, but I've got the guitar now, and it sounded great on that recording. What you guys can kind of see is I put this interesting choice of decoration up. That's just because I've got a giant window there, and it was a bit reflective. And I put a mattress right here because why not? And I put a very fuzzy rug down there just to kind of knock down some of the reflections a little bit. And I think it could be a lot better, but you know what, it does in a pinch. So what I'm going to show you guys is, this is another song. This is another song I've been working on. I've been editing the drums. I did track a bunch of guitars for it last night, but I was a bit tired and they're a bit sloppy. Parts of it were okay, and I thought I could go in, I could edit it and move some stuff around so it's kind of really locking in with the drums. But I thought, you know what, let's just re-record it. So I'm going to re-record. I'm going to kind of duplicate, and this is the horrifying thing. Look at this. I've got acoustic scratch 3, acoustic scratch 2, 1. Those are 2. That's one take there, I think. No, it's different ones. I've got so many guitar tracks in here already that I've tried. So I've tried it at least 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I think. But 5th time's the charm. Not really. So I've got these 2 mics set up. I've got a little condenser here. I've got a big condenser over here. Not especially expensive mics, but they will do the job. And I've got them kind of panned a little bit. So this song is called Northern Skies. Let's see if this is working. I think it is. Cool. So I'm going to try a little bit of this. I don't think I'm going to run through the whole thing with you guys, but I'll just do a little bit, and we might call it a night there, and then that way I can go off and record it 17 more times in the privacy of my home and get to the minutia. No, hopefully it doesn't do that. But what I need to do tonight is really lock in with the kick pattern. So I'm actually going to bring this up a bit more. So I can really lock in with it. This part goes, that's a different part, goes. Thing about this song is production wise, I'm not really sure where this one's going to go yet. I know the feeling I'm chasing, kind of the same with Perfect Love. I knew what it was meant to feel like, but I wasn't quite there. And then when I got all those synth stuffs, I'm like, yes, we're heading in the right direction. So with this one, last night I found this. Let me show you. I found this small amped acoustic piano sound, and I'll show you what it sounds. It actually kind of sounds like a guitar, but because I was playing some piano over the top of what I had and it wasn't working, I was like, I need something to kind of lift it. And I'm noticing that with this, with these songs and with this production, I'm really trying to work on being a bit more, what's the word? Not hesitant, conservative, restrained. I'm trying to be more restrained in how much I'm throwing at the canvas. So usually when I'm recording, I'll do like an acoustic guitar, I'll add drums or bass or whatever, and then I'll add 3 million guitars, electric guitars, and synths and other things and vocals, and I'm just trying to like build this wall of sound, and it gets kind of hard to mix. And then it also kind of becomes this thing of like, I've built the verses to be this big, and then all of a sudden to get to this big, I kind of run out of room. I kind of run out of headroom. So I'm kind of really trying to work on bringing things down, really trying to get the bass and the drums and the acoustic to do most of the work, and then working on arrangement. So yeah, I'm trying to be a bit more restrained, conservative with the approach here, so that I can really make it's just a different approach, and I think I'm growing, which is good. So it's kind of cool, and I feel like Perfect Love is getting there with that, and I can see I'm working differently and I'm making different choices than I normally would. But this part here, because I was thinking, sorry, I'm ranting, but I was thinking about with my song Planted, with my song Early Mornings, songs like that, and even so songs like that, to do that live with a band would be quite challenging to recreate it in a way that's kind of, it'd just be hard because I'd need a lot of musicians, a lot of different parts, and there'd be some things that have to go like, okay, well, we can't recreate that, what choices are we going to make? So I'm trying to think this way of like, okay, if I had a band of 5 people, if I had a drummer, if I had a guitarist, if I had a keyboard player and a bass, how many, I can't count. So if I had drums, me, bass, guitar, keyboard, 5. If I had that many people, could I make the recording reflect 5 people doing different parts, so that's kind of the approach and the challenge. And then obviously I'm gonna have some room for ear candy, but I'm just noticing I'm making different choices, which is kind of fun. It's a good challenge. So I'm gonna play this part's kind of cool with the piano. So listen to this, and I'll just show you what it sounds like soloed. But then in context with the guitar. Check out the second verse, it's really cool. Actually, I'll show you the second verse. So I am really happy with that. So let's do, I'm going to tell one more story, and then I don't know, we'll see. You may notice that I have a capo, but it is not covering all the strings. So it's not covering, or it's not pressing down the 6th string, which means I have an E in the bass. I'm playing a D shape, but I'm playing it here, which means this is an E, so the song is in E. So it's almost like it's a drop D tuning, but in the key of E, which is nice because I don't have to retune. I can just put a capo on partially, which is kind of cool. It works live really well, which is cool. So I'm gonna play, so this is Northern Skies. This is gonna be the title track for the EP. Let me play a little bit of it, and then I might say goodbye. How long have we been doing this thing? Usually it tells me, but I think we are probably good to say wrap it up, and I think I've shown you some cool stuff, but I think it's just going to get boring from here. Hopefully it hasn't been boring to now. So I'll play a little bit of the song for you, and then we'll finish there. And this is Matt Musty on drums again. Sounds awesome. So that's what I got to do tonight. I got to really focus in on that kick pattern to, yeah, really lock in. And then hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to say goodbye, good night to you. You can click the link there and share some love. Thanks for tuning in. I think another thing I'm finding challenging is I want to share this experience with you guys. But yeah, it's hard, I think, in the midst of just doing life. I'm, working during the day. I'm only working kind of 2 days a week at the moment, and then school ramps up and I'll be working 5 days a week. And then just, yeah, life with 3 kids and trying to find time to do it. I am finding time, but yeah, I'm just kind of it's challenging right now. So if you are the praying type, prayers be appreciated. Thank you, Jesus, for helping me get through. Yeah, and I think this is part of the journey, right? It's like it's hard work to stay focused and to push through when there's those barriers. So we'll say good night there. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm going to try, yeah, I'll see. Maybe I'll hop on again Tuesday, maybe Wednesday evening. I think Thursday is going to be a big day where I have some time allocated to doing some more work on these tracks. I did send another song to Matt Musty in Los Angeles. He's going to be recording drums for another song on Monday, which will be awesome. Really excited. And that's the song Dragonflies, which I shared a little while back on Facebook. Yeah, anyway, leave a comment if you found something particularly interesting, or if you want to learn more about something. It'd actually be just really helpful to kind of know what what you're enjoying, what you're interested in, what you'd like to see more of, less of. But yeah, we'll say good night there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Now, where's the button?